You're listening to the Acadiana's Morning News Podcast, brought to you by LABI and always on KPEL965.com.
Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA, exists with the intent to create a safer environment for abused children. We exist as a body of bikers to empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. We stand ready to lend support to our wounded friends by involving them with an established, united organization. If you'd like to know more about BACA, please visit our website at bacaworld.org or call 1-866-71-ABUSE.
I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Make more. Teach. Visit teach.org. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Storm damage and death in Texas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's almost like we had a small hurricane come through downtown Houston with little to no warning.
Shelby Rose with Fox 26 TV. The morning after 100-mile-an-hour winds did damage.
Completely riddled with glass from all of the skyscrapers surrounding us. If you go up, there's a catwalk where we are, and nearly half, if not more than half of those windows blown out. This one message that the Houston mayor is really hitting home is for all of Houston to stay home today. It is this entire block. Thankfully, Houston police have all of this cornered off so motorists don't drive through this dangerous area.
4 people were killed, some hit by falling trees. There are 1 million power outages across Texas and Louisiana, which also get hit by the same storm system. The first trucks of humanitarian aid are flowing into Gaza a new way as Israel keeps battling Hamas, rolling off a new floating pier the U.S. military built that's anchored to a beach. In Washington,
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 24, the nays are 20.
So House Republicans on the Oversight Committee joined the Judiciary Committee last night, approving a contempt of Congress resolution against Attorney General Merrick Garland. The full House will consider it next for not handing over audio recordings of President Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur,
who investigated the classified documents case. Now, Hur's report noted that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials, but did not charge the president. In his report, the special counsel also described Biden as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. But now President Biden is asserting executive privilege over that audio.
Fox's Brooke Singman. There's no Trump trial today. The former president will attend his son Barron's high school graduation, saying after yesterday's testimony,
I think it was a very interesting day. It was a fascinating day. And it shows what a scam this whole thing is.
He's charged with falsifying records and payments to keep an alleged affair quiet before the 2016 election. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, if you want a firearm that is easy to transport, you got to check out the U.S. Survival Rifle from our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, it is a portable rifle that you can put together, take apart in just minutes. And then when you're not using it, you can store the parts in the little case that it comes in. It's so small you can store it pretty much anywhere, and it's light enough to carry everywhere. Now, it comes in black and 2 different camo patterns, and you can pick one up for $300 to $400 depending on the finish. Check out their videos. Go to their website. It's one word, henryusa.com/survival. And while you're there, make sure you order their free catalog. Now, Henry makes more than 200 rifles and shotguns and revolvers, all made in America, all backed by a lifetime satisfaction guarantee and the best customer service in the business. Go to their website, henryusa.com. Get their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog decals for the Henry U.S. Survival Rifle.
It is not an off day at another high-profile trial in New York. Democratic Senator Bob Menendez charged with bribery and other crimes.
FBI Special Agent Aristoteles Kouzanitros testified that when he searched Senator Menendez's home, they needed to call a locksmith in to unlock 2 doors inside the bedroom. Several photos were admitted into evidence showing the home, gold bars, jewelry, cash, and bank envelopes that had been taken. The jury held and passed around several different sizes of gold bars that had been seized from the home. Before that, an attorney for one of the senator's co-defendants gave his opening statement, saying his client, Wael Hanna, was good friends with the senator's wife, that they took care of each other like sister and brother, that while the gold bars could be traced back to him, they were gifts and not bribes. Charges against Menendez include bribery, extortion, and acting as a foreign agent for Egypt. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Menendez's wife, Nadine, is also charged, but will be tried separately. She's now battling breast cancer. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, not moving much the day after the Dow topped 40,000 for the first time ever, then dropped back under it. And the NASDAQ hit a new record high and also then fell. Both ended up down for the day. In the NBA playoffs, defending champion Denver got dunked. Minnesota Timberwolves blew out the Nuggets 115-70, forcing a Game 7 on Sunday. On the ice, a comeback in Carolina.
Now the pass across, they score! The Rangers take a 4-3 lead with 4:19 remaining.
That was Chris Kreider's third goal in a row in the third period. The Rangers added an empty netter to stun and eliminate the Hurricanes, who blew a 3-1 lead at home on TNT. New York advances to the NHL Eastern Conference Final. Out west, Vancouver beat Edmonton 3-2 to go up 3-2. Golf's PGA Championship major tournament's been delayed, citing an accident near the course at Valhalla in Louisville, Kentucky, where rain could also put a damper on round 2. Xander Schauffele has a 3-shot lead after the first day. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide. Also known as laughing gas, it's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice, and a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the sixth inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3 with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz.
This hour of Acadiana's Morning News has been brought to you by Janny King. The King of Clean has been a leader in the cleaning industry on the Gulf Coast for over 35 years. To find out more about their cleaning and disinfecting services, head to their website at jannyking.com. The Cajun Heartland State Fair is coming May 23rd through June 2nd. This year, the fair celebrates its 36th anniversary, and you can celebrate with early bird savings. Get the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack before the start of the fair and save. The News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack includes 4 ride wristbands and 4 fair admission vouchers for only $100. And you can redeem them on any day of the fair you choose. Save now when you score the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack. Only $100. And hurry, because there's a limited quantity of the Advanced Mega Packs. Get yours today. You can buy the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack at the Cajun Dome box office or online at CajunDome.com. LUS presents the 36th Annual Cajun Heartland State Fair, May 23rd to June 2nd. At the Cajun Dome, experience the wild rides on the Gold Star Midway or free family entertainment like Scott's World of Magic. Learn more at KPEL965.com and click on the Cajun Dome link. Brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL, where Acadiana comes to talk.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Oh, it's like Tuesday all over again. 600 block of Southeast Evangeline Thruway. There's a traffic signal malfunction. Remember, if it's out, treat it as a 4-way. Also, a wire hazard, Macklin Street and Claremont Street in Lafayette. We will keep you updated on those. No accidents right now. Current temperature, 75 degrees. KPEL News Time is 6:13 on this Friday morning. It is May the 17th. Mark, more of the same.
More of the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like Friday.
No.
You know, it's a little more solemn on this Friday.
It doesn't appear that the situation got as bad as it was on Tuesday, but still a lot of folks waking up to damage this morning. Quick updates on school closures, and we have, very quickly, in Acadia Parish, Church Point Elementary and Church Point High School. All schools in Evangeline Parish are closed today. In Lafayette Parish so far, Karen Crow High School is the only one. Superintendent Francis Touchette let us know that this morning, but he said graduation will still take place. That's scheduled for 4 o'clock at the Cajun Dome. In St. Landry Parish, Arnaudville Middle, Beauchesne High School, Kankton Elementary, École St. Landry, Grand Coteau Elementary, Port Barry Elementary and High School, and Sunset Middle are all closed today. We do have this list at our website, kpel965.com, and our app. If we get any more notifications about school closures, we certainly will let you know and keep you posted throughout the morning. No official street closures. I've been communicating with St. Martin Parish because it sounds like they got some more damage last night. Jenny Higgins says reports of 2 roofs blown off in the Bro Bridge area, a lot of downed trees. She is checking now on the status of any road closures. May just be one, but they're checking. So I'm in contact with law enforcement and first responders and emergency preparedness folks here in Lafayette. We will talk to Christina Dayries, who incidentally joined us yesterday, the chief of staff there, who kind of oversees 311 and the LCG, Office of Emergency Preparedness. We'll talk to her later on this hour. If you want some things to celebrate today because you're waking up and thinking, I need some positive, it's National Endangered Species Day, National Pack Rat Day. And after moving, I can tell you, my husband and I may qualify. National Pizza Party Day. You might need to. If you're cleaning up, just order pizza. And it's NASCAR Day. We need to let Bruce know that because he really likes NASCAR. Wink. Let's see a few things from history. On this date in 1984, Jack Tramiel founded Atari. Originally, it was called the Trammell Technology Limited. Changed the name to Atari in just under 2 months. And it's the company that gave us Space Invaders and Pac-Man. Mark, you'll appreciate this. On this date in 1939, the first televised baseball game was broadcast.
Wow.
Princeton defeated Columbia on that day. The first ever color photo was taken on this date in 1861. And I put this in because two Scottish gentlemen succeeded in capturing it. It was the photo of a tartan ribbon, and I saw it, and it just looks like a big blob.
Yeah.
It just looks like, I mean, I'm glad they told us what it was. And the first merry-go-round debuted at a fair in Turkey on this date in 1620. And speaking of happy things, strange but true, Winky Dinky Dog joins us a few minutes early this morning, and then we'll get some updates from first responders around the Acadiana area. KPEL News Time 617. Get your home generator from Prime Energy Solutions and never worry about losing power again. Call them for more info or go to primeenergysolutions.com.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
We don't have any accidents on the roadways. Watch out for down power lines and trees as they continue to assess when the sun comes up. Just be very careful if you have to drive around. Currently 75 degrees. And we do have an update on some school closures. Of course, in Lafayette Parish, Karen Crow, we just got word from Superintendent Francis Touchette that Woodvale and Dusant Elementaries are closed. Arnoville, Beauchesne, Kankton, École St. Landry, Grand Coteau, Port Barry Elementary and High School, Sunset Middle. Those are closed in St. Landry Parish. All Evangeline Parish schools are closed today. In Acadia Parish, Church Point Elementary and Church Point High are closed. Right now, those are the latest updates, and we'll continue to bring you that information throughout the morning. And speaking of happier things, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, there you go. Winky Dinky Dog providing the soundtrack this morning. We're going to smile for just a minute, and then we'll get back down to business, and we'll be joined later on by some first responders as they get us updates throughout the morning. Okay, so we have about...
Buckle up, everybody.
Yeah, we have about 7 minutes.
A lot of stuff going on. We got Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The movie script was written in 6 days. A writer's strike was looming, and John Hughes went to Paramount executives with a one-sentence pitch. I want to make a movie about a kid who takes a day off from school, and that's all I know so far. They agreed. He wrote it in 6 days.
Wow.
Like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, the movie is set in the same fictional town of Shermer, Illinois, and the exact same high school, Shermer High School. The actual school is Glenbrook North High School, by the way. Other big names considered for Ferris: Rob Lowe, John Cusack, John Kerry, Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise, Robert Downey Jr., and Michael Fox.
Okay, John Cusack may have been able to pull that off,
so.
but I don't know about the others.
Yeah. Because it was a John... Oh, wait. Let's see here. Oh, so they're all supposed to be seniors. I've got a bunch of X's on here trying to cut
I know,
time.
right?
Okay, so they're all supposed to be seniors in high school, so 17, 18 years old, right? All right, Ruck, who played Cameron, 19. Broderick, who was Ferris, 23.
Wow.
Jennifer Grey, 26. And Mia Sara, who played Sloane, 18.
No
She lied
kidding.
to John Hughes about her age. He wanted an older actor because Molly Ringwald wanted to actually be Sloane character. He says, no, I need somebody older. And so Mia got it. And then she told him, oh, by the way, I'm only 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Ferris and his sister Jenny had a real thing going on. Not really, outside. Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey got engaged just before the movie's release, but later broke up a few years later. But wait, there's more. Ferris' parents in the movie, they started dating in real life because of the movie, got married, had 2 kids, end up in divorcing in 1992.
Really?
Yeah, kind of fun stuff. The parade scene, not staged for the movie. It is an absolute real-life parade. It was a German and American parade, which they decided they put a float into the parade and then filmed the scene. All the people in the parade had no idea. They just thought it was another float, and they were having a wonderful time. And so they did have to stage a parade later to fix a few things for continuity. But the actual scene of him drop, the whole thing is legit.
Shake it up, baby, now.
All right,
That's cool. That's
that's kind of a neat little
Yeah.
The Ferrari in the movie, not real. They were really driving a replica of a 1961 Ferrari GT California Spider, which was made by Modena. In real life, the actual Ferrari
Slow down.
sold
It's okay. Breathe.
at
breathe.
an auction in 2008 for $11 million.
No kidding.
Let me say that again. $11
million
dollars.
Golly.
Charlie Sheen's scene in the movie when they're in the police station, he really got into the character, not because he was drugged out. Hold on.
Okay.
To produce the drugged out effect in the role in the police station, he reportedly stayed awake for more than 48 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
In order to get all those dark eyes. You thought I was going to really say he got stoned. Huh?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been out of realm of possibility.
There is a scene in the movie where Ferris does his monologue through a window of his house.
Yes.
They trained 2 squirrels to run along the wire outside the window. It was giving the monologue. For such a quick scene, it took a substantial amount of time to train the squirrel to run along the power line. The first one just ran away. Never found him again.
Sounds like a squirrel.
The second one got a little stage fright and clung to the wire right in front. He's in the movie. Hughes would later tell a story that most people thought it was fake or used for the movie, but he said, nope, it was real. It just got stage fright. The Ferrari coming out of the garage scene that crashed, also real, but not the Ferrari. It was a fake Ferrari, but the scene is real.
Yeah.
Obviously, but it was supposed to land in the backyard, but it overshot the mark and landed on the neighbor's fence. Also, the scene was shot later in the fall, and the trees were starting to already show color. So they had to hand paint a lot of the leaves in the scene.
No kidding.
Because they wanted it to appear at a much earlier time.
Now, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. How we doing?
We doing okay. You got about 2.5, 3 minutes.
Okay. Alan Ruck, who played the nervous Cameron, improvised a scene where he was impersonating Sloane's father on the phone to get her out of school.
Yes.
He did it only to get Matthew Broderick to laugh. It was completely improvised. He used a voice that they both were in a movie together, the Biloxi Blues director, Gene Saks. That was kind of his voice. And he would always get upset during the taking of the movie. So he used that voice just in order to try to get Matthew Broderick to crack character. It didn't work. So, and that is what we have.
Look at you. And you could have breathed. You want to do 1 or 2 more?
There's a bunch of, okay. There's a bunch of license plates in the movie that pay homage to other John Hughes movies.
Really?
Yeah, VCT. You got to look at the license plates. There's VCTN for National Lampoon's Vacation, TBC, The Breakfast Club, M-Mom from Mr. Mom. Rooney's car has 4FBDO, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Whoa.
The exception is the Ferrari, which has NRVOUS because Cameron's driving.
Nervous.
Yep.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that John Hughes had written all those movies.
Ben Stein's character, the teacher, his economics lesson completely improvised, and he was so boring that the kids that were in the class congratulate him just how boring he could be.
Bueller.
Because he is an actual economic.
Bueller.
Yeah, that was on the script. That's actually in the script. But his actual lesson in the movie, completely improvised because he is an economics person.
No kidding.
So he just went off on supply side economics.
I mean, those of us of a certain age still do the Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller. Well done, Wink.
Yeah, Wink.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
ball.
you, thank you.
Have you picked a movie for next week?
Not a clue.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
KPEL News Time is 6:28. Coming up next half hour, we will talk to Christina Dayries with Lafayette Consolidated Government, get an update on what the situation is this morning in Lafayette. I know that Broadmoor got hit pretty hard.
Not again.
Yeah. And I've heard reports of some trees on houses.
On my drive in, Ambassador Caffrey in 89, the lights were blinking red.
Okay.
Eras Landry right here in the corner of Bertrand, blinking red. I
Yeah.
don't know what the status is, but just be careful out there.
Yeah, so be very, very careful and know that they may not be aware of lines that are down right now, tree limbs you could come
A
across.
lot of tree limbs on Ambassador Caffrey, mainly in the outside lanes.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Wink. So as you drive around, just be careful. And Christina Dayries will bring us an update about 6:45 this morning. KPEL News Time is 6:29.
KPEL covers Acadiana with Lowry's Printing and Copying.
St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office Training Division is hosting a Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries boater education course on Saturday, May 18th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the St. Martin Sheriff's Office Training Academy at 1815 Terrace Highway. Learn about all the factors, fun and safety factors related to boating. State law requires that all persons born after January 1, 1984 have this training. It's free and open to the public. Register at LouisianaOutdoors.com. 7th Annual Acadiana Po' Boy Festival is set for West Village Development in Scott. That's on the new Apollo Road in Scott. It's Saturday, May 18th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Food, fun, music, and more. And, of course, you can sample loads of delicious po' boys for a very reasonable price. Get the details at socialentertainment.net or follow Social Entertainment on Facebook.
This is House Call for Health. Preliminary data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows around 107,500 overdose deaths in 2023, about a 3% decrease from 2022. CDC officials say the final number may be different, but they believe they'll still see a decline. The overdose epidemic has taken the lives of over 1 million people in the U.S. since the late 90s. While prescription painkillers were once the driving force behind it, they've since been replaced by heroin and then fentanyl in more recent years. A new study shows a huge increase in law enforcement confiscation of pills containing fentanyl from 44 million 2 years ago to 115 million last year. Despite the decline in overdose deaths, experts are cautious. One tells the Associated Press the last time a decline happened in 2018, drug deaths rose in the years that followed. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17th. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas. It's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice, and a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the 6th inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3, with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz. Have you been to Home Furniture's new location on Johnston Street? It is absolutely gorgeous. And when you walk in, one of the things you'll notice is all of the mattresses that are along the walls. Do yourself a favor, lay on a few of them, because if you need a new mattress, Home Furniture has their Memorial Day early sale going on right now. Biggest and best furniture and mattress savings, low prices. A queen mattress as low as $9 a month, an elegant queen bed from just $9 a month, plush style sofa as low as $17 a month. And let me tell you, they have some beautiful sofas. Plus, up to 60 months special financing with no money down. Do yourself a favor, though. Really check out the mattresses and ask questions. Their staff is incredibly knowledgeable, and you will find all the top brands to make sure that you get a great night's sleep. They offer next-day delivery. Don't worry about bringing a truck or arranging for friends to come help you. Ask them about next-day delivery at Home Furniture. They have locations across South Louisiana, but make a point to go by their new location on Johnston Street. Home Furniture plus Bedding, their big Memorial Day sale going on now through Saturday.
I heard the call to serve, so I answered. I earned a title and discovered my purpose. I found belonging, an unbreakable bond with my fellow Marines. We fought to overcome adversity together in defense of our nation and its people. I've lived a full life, rich with meaning. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will always look after those around me. I will always uplift and support my country and my community. Because that is the promise I made. That is what it means to be a Marine. Semper Fidelis. Always faithful, always Marine.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
All right, we do have a roadway hazard on Surrey Street, the 100 block. 1 Florence and Bienville in Lafayette, Baquet Crescent, and the 300 block of Baquet Crescent. There's a wire down showing a traffic signal malfunction, Simcoe at Jefferson. And we have another wire hazard. And I think the message from this is, number one, watch out as you drive around. Lafayette police and first responders are still assessing the situation, finding out what they need to let us know about. Winky Dinky Dog said that he noticed a lot of lights flashing. Remember to treat them as a four-way. We do have information on our website. If you're confused, because a lot of people are, Mark, about how to handle certain situations. KPEL News Time, 6:39.
All right, welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. Mark Pope and Tracy Wirtz. And Tracy, it's a busy morning. Unfortunately for the wrong reasons. But was that a report of a light out, I believe?
It was. She said Congress and ambassador, which is, she said it's scary. She said it's blinking. Remember, if it's blinking, treat it as a four-way. If it's out, treat it as a four-way. And Mark, we talked earlier this week after Monday's storms. That is frightening because if you think about Ambassador Caffrey and Congress, it's exactly the kind of intersection we talked about where you have multiple lanes. Yep. Who gets there first? And you kind of wonder what's going on. So please, please, please be courteous. The phone line is ringing again. Let me push all the right buttons. Good morning, KPEL.
Hey, it's Congress and Bertrand.
Oh, Congress and Bertrand. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you so much. Okay. There's a lot going on. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That is a big wide intersection as well with multiple. Yeah. I believe each side has a turn lane.
So I apologize.
Wowie zowie. I don't. If you're hearing this, folks, and that's your normal route of travel, I would suggest, avoid those lights because it's hazardous.
It is. Thank you so much for that, and I apologize for getting it wrong. And as I'm watching the board, it just continues to update with different roadway hazards. Jenny Higgins has been messaging with me. Excuse me. She says there's currently a tree blocking the road, 1400 block of Duchamp Road in St. Martinville. Find an alternate route this morning. She said, drive carefully. She said, also, Ruth Bridge is closed from the 1100 block to Poydras Highway due to downed trees and power poles. And, as they move through all of this, this is going to happen throughout the morning. So if you have to head out early, just be careful. Let's see. I'm just reading. I've got text messages coming in from first responders. Spoke to Lafayette Parish School Superintendent Francis Touchette just a few minutes ago. Karen Crow High, Dussault, and Woodvale Elementaries are closed. And he explained, which was interesting. He said they've set up a system, just so everybody else knows, of how and who checks on these schools. And he says that they check on high schools at 4:00 in the morning, and they have to make a determination within 15 minutes. They check on elementary schools at 5:00 in the morning, and they check on middle schools at 6:00 in the morning. And he said they check for AC and they check for electricity. And so right now, those are the only schools closed because the others have power. They have air conditioning. So that is going on. Trooper Thomas Gosson, he can't leave us. It says Pont de Mouton at I-49, lights on east and west side of I-49 interchange are completely out. This is going to happen again throughout the morning. So just know to be extra careful.
Leave yourself more time.
Without a doubt.
Because those flashing lights and the intersections with no lights, Tracy, that you have to be patient. It's not, stay calm, deep breathe, and get there safely.
Right. We are going to talk to Christina Dayries with Lafayette Consolidated Government in just a minute to get an update on what's happening and what they're seeing around the city right now. KPEL News Time 644. Party at Rock and Bowl all weekend starting Thursday with Horace Trahan, Friday Nickel Beer, Saturday Crossfire, Sunday Chubby Carrier. Tickets now at rockandbowl.com. God bless you, God love you, and thank God for free.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Okay, I'm going to let you know that there are road hazards, whether it's wires or trees, on several streets in Lafayette. A lot of them surface streets. We do have one, the 100 block of Surrey Street, as assessments continue. It's 75 degrees right now. And we all feel kind of under pressure right now after last night's storms. And the good news is I think we'll have a break next week. Daniel Phillips will join us by phone about 7:15 to kind of let us know what's to come, kind of get more granular with that information. Joining us right now, though, is a lady it seems like we haven't talked to you in forever. Christina Dayries, the Chief of Staff for LCG. Here we go again, Christina. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Tracy. Real quick, we'll just kind of give you an update of kind of what happened last night into this morning. As you guys all know, National Weather Service, had made some serious alerts. Severe weather was headed our way. We were under tornado warnings, flash flood warnings. I mean, we had severe wind, rains, flooding expectations. I think it was like 2 to 6 inches, some 12. I don't think we'll get that here in Lafayette, but that's kind of what they have been alerted us of. So we began last night. I know the Mayor President Boulay, she was in contact with all our surrounding municipal mayors. They've been texting and updating last night and this morning, and all their initial reports is everything is good. There is some cleanup that they've let her know about, some debris pickup that's expected, but overall, everyone fared well. 911 has been reporting a heavy call volume during the height of that storm, but they were able to receive and answer calls. They did get one injury reported. That's the only one we have so far, by a tree falling on the house. It was a young, less than a teenager. We did dispatch EMS and PD to that scene to assess and take care of the injury. LUS outages, those hit maximum right at 4,500. This morning, Jeff Stewart's reporting they're down to 1,500. The goal is to have everything complete and back on late Friday or by early Saturday at the latest. He's had crews working around the clock trying to get everybody restored. And he just wants to remind everyone, if you do have a power outage, to call 337-291-9200. And any power lines or other electrical water issues, you can call 291-570-5700. He does have his LUS outage map online. People can check that to see, but he is getting that information. We do want to remind you, if you have an emergency, you call 911. That is not to report outages, but that is to report life safety issues. We have been in contact with Francis Tuchet this morning. I'm sure you're getting the updates on school closures. We have those, those are due to the electricity outages. Doosan Wooddale is what he's told us. Karen Crow High also not in session, but I think his graduations are going to continue, and Northside continue this evening. LUS Fiber, they did tell us we have 701 customers without service and another 95 that he believes is on battery backup failure. Our Warren, Brian Smith with drainage, our teams, they have their public works and drainage traffic crews out this morning. They've had about 30 calls for down trees, roughly 3 remaining calls that included some blocked roadways. They're getting out to those, but they are expecting an influx once the sun comes up, and they will get out there and respond as fast as they can. And then the final comment I have, Tracy, is police department has let us know there's been no flooding on the roads and no road closures due to that overnight or this morning. The only thing we're experiencing is those trees that may be blocking some roadways, driveways. I think people can't get out of their house. That's some of the initial reports we've got this morning.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a few lights blinking, and I'm sure that's just they're trying to come back online. Several reports of that, which can be, kind of frightening, right?
Oh, absolutely. And everyone knows when you get to that, either blinking light or no light because it's out, treat it as a 4-way stop. Be courteous, when you get there and, to allow traffic to continue that flow.
Christina, hi, it's Mark. So
Good morning.
Good morning. What happens when, I don't know if we're at that situation, but what happens when LUS is in emergency mode? You have multiple outages. At some point, do you go on a 24-hour shift type deal with employees? Because I know you guys work round the clock to get power restored.
They do. And Just Team, they literally have not stopped since Monday, I think. They just got everything restored, and then we're back out. Here's another storm coming this way. And they will work through the night. They did not stop yesterday. The storm came in, early, right after they would probably have gotten off of their shift, and they had to get right back on and try to continue restoring that power. But as soon as they hit, he was giving us the outages, and then he started his restoration efforts. So it's been all hands on deck, sir.
Well, some of them might be hearing us. They might be in their trucks, maybe going from one job to the other. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of LUS, for the service you provide to citizens of Lafayette.
Now, Lafayette Parish, just an update there. We have 5,200, almost 5,300 customers without power. So if you aren't an LUS customer, that number, of course, gets bigger because a lot of those areas, too, and Christina, Mark, and I have had this discussion, are more rural. You have houses that are further apart, that kind of thing. Entergy
That's correct.
is reporting about 2,500 people without power right now in Lafayette Parish. Slimco, about 1,800. And the good news is I've been following their pages, and it looks like they, too, are working quickly to get this back.
And we were saying, a lot of the trees, they are already started breaking because of Monday's severe weather. So this will kind of finish that out. We were just talking earlier this morning. We're hoping that maybe may prune some trees for hurricane season, get us ready. But that's just one of the good things citizens can do. I know we did it here, and my husband saw a tree split right before the storm happened Monday. Says, I probably need to get that down before it gets on my house. Let me do my little yard maintenance, try to get us ready with just the foliage around your home.
And Lafayette Parish Sheriff Mark Garber was in yesterday, and he expressed the same sentiment. It's looking around. Maybe one of these storms precariously tilted a tree. It may be time to get that down before, as you said, before hurricane season. We may not see anything, and that's what we hope, but it's always good to prepare. No,
absolutely. Look, and we got to exercise next week, Tracy. We were doing our regular hurricane exercise on the 27th for our team. I think we've had too many drills already.
Well, and that's good to know that you guys will be, even more prepared for should any of those storms come our way. And we appreciate your time this morning. We know we kind of threw it at you last minute, but that's a great update. And we know that crews, both police crews, fire crews, electric
drainage, public works,
exactly
traffic out there.
They are going to be working today, and we may get more rain tonight. We'll get an update, again, a more detailed update from Daniel Phillips about 7:15 this morning. So if you're listening out there or be in the car, Daniel will join us by phone about 7:15. Christina, thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, Christina Dayry, she's the chief of staff for LCG, does a great job. She comes from the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. So this is right in her wheelhouse. She understands how to manage emergency situations, storm response, that kind of thing. And, you know, Mark, for some people, and I think about this, and I thought about this driving in, for if you had, you know, you woke up and, oh, it wasn't that bad, whatever. Think about the people who didn't fare as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we talk about, oh, it wasn't a bad hurricane season. Well, it was a bad hurricane season for somebody. It just wasn't bad for us. It only takes one. We've received some reports about trees on homes in Broadmoor. As she said, there's one person that was injured. My sister-in-law, bless her heart, and my brother, the neighbor's tree fell on the shed in their backyard. Thankfully, it wasn't on their home, but completely destroyed that. There's going to be a lot of cleanup that has to happen.
Yes, no doubt about that.
Quick update on school closures in Lafayette Parish. Karen Crow High, Woodvale, and Dusant Elementaries are closed. The rest of the schools in Lafayette Parish are open. Evangeline Parish is closed. St. Landry, we have Arnaudville, Beauchesne, Cankton, École St. Landry, Grand Coteau, Port Barry High, and Middle. Sunset Middle in Vermilion Parish just got closed. Erath Middle. And over in Acadia Parish, Church Point Elementary and Church Point High School. I see the phone lines ringing. We'll get to you in just a minute to let you know what's coming up next hour. Caleb Morris will be in with us this morning, so we'll visit with him as we do each and every Friday for Firearms Friday. At 7:15, we will talk to Daniel Phillips and get a more detailed idea of what we can expect later today. KPEL News Time, 6:57.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Results are expected today from a vote on whether workers at a Mercedes plant in Alabama join the United Auto Workers Union. Approximately 5,000 workers at the assembly plant outside Tuscaloosa voted this week on whether to form a union and be represented by the UAW. The UAW won its vote at a Volkswagen plant in Tennessee last month. Social media forum Reddit has a new arrangement with OpenAI. It means Reddit can bring new AI-powered features to its users. Reddit shares are rallying. Chip equipment company Applied Materials reported better than expected results for the latest quarter, though the stock's losing ground. Stock futures are mixed. The Dow crossed the 40,000 mark yesterday, but the rally did not hold. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
It didn't have a name, but a storm hit Houston like a hurricane. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Stay at home. Do not travel on the roads.
That was Mayor John Whitmire last night. Shelby Rose with Fox 26 TV out on the Houston streets, seeing glass everywhere, and when she looks up,
blinds and drapes that are just blowing in the wind from how many windows were just blown out. Insulation riddling this intersection, and damage and debris aside, unfortunately, there were 4 confirmed deaths here in this area because of this storm.
The damage and flooding isn't just in Texas. Louisiana also got hit. There are about 1 million power outages in those states. A different kind of drama in Louisville, Kentucky that Fox's Todd Pyra reports has delayed a major golf tournament.
Police reportedly putting Scottie Scheffler, the number one golfer in the world, in handcuffs ahead of round 2 of the PGA Championship. ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington saying it happened, quote, after a misunderstanding with traffic flow led to his attempt to drive past a police officer into Valhalla Golf Club. Darlington going on to say, quote, the police officer then began to scream at Scheffler to get out of the car.
Now, Scheffler was supposed to tee off this hour, but play has been delayed there more than an hour. They'll start at about 8:30 Eastern. As for the accident, he was trying to get around. A shuttle bus hit and killed a pedestrian near the golf course. There was also drama at the House last night between congresswomen.
Do you know what we're here for?
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene said to Jasmine Crockett, upset Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play, baby.
Crockett then insulted Greene as looking butch with bleached blonde hair, all before Republicans on the House Oversight Committee voted to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress for refusing to turn over recordings of a Biden interview with a special counsel. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, if you want a firearm that is easy to transport, you got to check out the U.S. Survival Rifle from our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, it is a portable rifle that you can put together, take apart in just minutes. And then when you're not using it, you can store the parts in the little case that it comes in. It's so small you can store it pretty much anywhere, and it's light enough to carry everywhere. Now, it comes in black and 2 different camo patterns, and you can pick one up for $300 to $400 depending on the finish. Check out their videos. Go to their website. It's one word, henryusa.com/survival. And while you're there, make sure you order their free catalog. Now, Henry makes more than 200 rifles and shotguns and revolvers, all made in America, all backed by a lifetime satisfaction guarantee and the best customer service in the business. Go to their website, henryusa.com. Get their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog decals for the Henry U.S. Survival.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17th. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide. Also known as laughing gas, it's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice, and a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the 6th inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3 with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz.
The Cajun Heartland State Fair is coming May 23rd through June 2nd. This year, the fair celebrates its 36th anniversary, and you can celebrate with early bird savings. Get the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack before the start of the fair and save. The News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack includes 4 ride wristbands and 4 fair admission vouchers for only $100. And you can redeem them on any day of the fair you choose. Save now when you score the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack. Only $100. And hurry, because there's a limited quantity of the Advanced Mega Packs. Get yours today. You can buy the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack at the Cajun Dome box office or online at CajunDome.com. LUS presents the 36th Annual Cajun Heartland State Fair, May 23rd to June 2nd. At the Cajun Dome, experience the wild rides on the Gold Star Midway or free family entertainment like Scott's World of Magic. Learn more at KPEL965.com and click on the Cajun Dome link. Brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL, where Acadiana comes to talk.
Your KPEL News Update brought to you by Home Furniture Plus Bedding with over 40,000 furniture and mattress choices in stock. Take a look at homefern.com.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
We have an accident, Turlings Drive and La Genet Road, in Lafayette. Several road hazards on the board. Lights out. We got a call about the light 182 and Highway 92 right in the area of ESA that is out. Congress at Bertrand. We got that call. If you see a light blinking or completely out, treat it as a 4-way. Traffic's going to back up. The gentleman who called about 182 and 92 said it's stacking. So if you can find a way around those traffic lights safely, then do so. But watch out for any down lines or trees. Current temperature 76 degrees. Good morning and welcome back into Acadiana's Morning News. It is 7:13 in just a couple of minutes. Excuse me. Daniel Phillips is going to join us with more detail on what we can expect later today. Thank you so much to our callers. There is an accident, Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron. It's on the bridge, so it's going to definitely be slowing you down. Watch out in that area. Thank you to the lady who called and said that the lines on Surrey Street, that was an issue earlier, but those have been moved off to the side of the road. That's good news. Just be careful. Don't touch any of the lines that are down. You're going to want to call a provider, let them know, maybe call 911 and say, look, there's a line down on the road. Just please be careful out there. 76 degrees. Caleb is in for Firearms Friday, and we are going to visit with him. I promise. Of course, Firearms Friday brought to you by Cajun Patriots. Need to bring you some updates, though, in St. Martin Parish. Caleb, go ahead, jump on the mic because you proud St. Martin Parish resident.
That's right.
What'd you see coming in?
The roads, Anse Broussard is mostly clear all the way to I-10. There is a lot of debris on the roads. I didn't see any large trees that were down that would inhibit traffic or anything else, but I saw roofs stripped, everything else. So there is metal on the side of the road, that kind of thing.
Right.
But as you're driving around, if you see something, say something. Your voice will be heard, and you can help save someone's day or their life.
I can tell you that Jenny Higgins, who is the public information officer for St. Martin Parish Sheriff, said that there is a tree blocking the road, 1400 block of Duchamp Road in St. Martinville. Ruth Bridge is closed from the 1100 block of Poydras Highway due to a down power line and some down trees. Jeanette Street off of Cemetery has a tree blocking it. And again, she, like everyone else, find a different route if you can this morning.
I have to tell you, we were talking before we went on, Tracy, and part of the discussion was, unfortunately, we have these incidents that happen, and we're providing a public service by giving us information, and you said that you enjoy that. It's kind of ironic.
Well,
you don't enjoy.
Be careful. No, I don't enjoy
it. What I'm saying is, I don't know. You put it in words. We're providing that public service to give people information, and you feel good about that.
Well, yeah, and
let's say it like that.
In whenever Lily hit, that was my aha moment. Where what we do, the broadcast industry, especially radio, is critical to the people who are on the other side because, there are so many things that go down and people are hungry for information. And I don't enjoy it in terms of, I'm not happy that this happened at all, but I'm glad that we can be here as a support to those who are listening and struggling through this.
It's the compassion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And let me just say, I know we have a caller. That's brief.
Daniel.
This is brief, is in that this man sitting next to me, he would not say this, but he told me this, so I'm going to convey it. When there's storms like this and he knows there's debris, what does he do? He puts his chainsaw in the truck.
Yeah.
And when he sees debris, big branches in the road, he's going to pull over safely, put on his flashers, cut that debris, and get it out the road.
Yeah.
Man, I'm giving you a gold star award, Caleb.
Yeah. I don't
man.
know where the
Thanks.
applause is on my board, but I'm going to applause.
I'm just doing what we all should do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, joining us is somebody who has been busy. Daniel, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to give us a call. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm not too bad. I'm very tired. I'm looking forward to this being over.
Yeah, I bet so. Now, before we get into today, I was watching Rob last night, and it looks like we may have a little bit of calm next week, right?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of feels like the last crescendo of summertime or springtime, and then like Sunday summer's here, and then it's just summer.
Yeah, it's
kind of what the extended forecast looks like.
And for once, that's not a bad forecast. All right, so what can we? We have your forecast kind of encapsulated in 30 seconds, but it's drizzling outside right now. What can we expect for, let's say, the next 24 hours?
Okay, so right now we're fairly stable. So we've got some rainfall out there right now, plenty of clouds, which is actually pretty good. I think you want to see that last as long as possible. It typically means it's a little more stable outside when that happens, and we won't get, if you can avoid the sunshine, you can avoid kind of the more unstable, like instability building type stuff. So that's what I'm going to be watching for over the next couple of hours. I think that what we end up seeing is there's more instability, more severe weather dynamics in the eastern parts of Louisiana, but still close enough to us that we're not out of the woods just yet. And then we'll get another round of disturbances that come through with probably more showers and a couple thunderstorms later this afternoon. And then the way it has looked this morning is the strongest stuff will be kind of overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Maybe another round of storms producing 2 inches worth of rain. Could lead to a little bit of localized flash flooding, but hopefully that would be overnight tonight and early Saturday morning when there's less people out on the roads. Of course, we get some of those thunderstorms. We got to talk about winds, hail, maybe some isolated tornadoes. It's going to be possible. But it's all kind of dependent on how the setup goes today. I think the longer we keep the clouds and we keep kind of this drizzly weather, the better it's going to be.
Okay, but we will definitely get rain, you think?
Yeah, we're going to get some showers that come through, and we're probably going to wake up tomorrow morning to some pretty heavy rainfall as well. Okay. But I don't think it lasts too long into Saturday. Okay. And once it's done tomorrow, we are done.
Okay, thank goodness.
Daniel, you talked about...
No kidding. And then we can move on to complaining about temperatures, which is a lot more fun than complaining about
Yeah.
this.
Right. So you talked about rain this afternoon. Can you tell us what front you were watching, where it is located, and the approximate, I know that's keyword, approximate timeline whereby that storm will reach Acadiana?
Yeah, so right now we've just got light stuff. This is kind of tail end things. What I will look for is if you kind of pull up the satellite and you get like a longer look at it. If you look down, we call it downstream. If you look out to the west, you can see showers firing up in like South Texas, Corpus Christi area. Mm-hmm. We'll watch those because that's your next upper level disturbance that will swing through. Now, like I said, if we can keep the clouds going and we can kind of keep this grayish, dampish type weather, then there won't be as much energy for those storms to tap into. So that's what we're going to be watching over the next couple hours.
All right.
But I think this afternoon we get around, and I think the heaviest stuff gets in here late tonight.
Okay. Well, we will be waiting for that, and we will pray that the grossness outside right now continues. I mean, really. That's what it sounds like.
One of those days where you're just like, man, I'm so glad that it's gray and drizzly and miserable outside.
All right. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking, man, I wish the sun would come out. No, we don't want that today. No. We can wait for that tomorrow, right?
Not today. Yeah. We can enjoy it over the weekend today. Let's keep the clouds.
All right. Daniel, thank you so much. I hope that you all get some rest. I know that this has been a brutal week for folks, for meteorologists across Louisiana, definitely, but for you guys especially.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Daniel, be safe out there. Have fun, and hopefully you can get a nap later. KPEL News.
Fingers crossed. Y'all stay safe.
All right. Hey, kiss Penny for us.
Absolutely.
Okay, KPEL News Time 7:21. We'll talk to Caleb after the break.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
All right, we got a couple of accidents on the roadway. Southeast Evangeline Thruway at Surrey. Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron. It's actually on the bridge. Thank you so much to the caller who let us know about that. And showing an accident, Turlings Drive and La Jeanette Drive in Lafayette. Several road hazards, wires down. Just be careful as you travel around. We do have some school closures that we can update you on. Let's go ahead and do that right now. If for some reason you're just waking up and wondering if the school buses will be on the roads, yes, they will in some areas. In Acadia Parish, the only schools that are closed are Church Point Elementary and High. All Evangeline Parish schools are closed. In Lafayette Parish, Karen Crow High, Dussault, and Woodvale Elementaries, we have received word that St. Pius, Saints Leo Seton, and Karen Crow Catholic are closed. In St. Landry Parish, Arnaudville, Beauchesne, Cankton, École St. Landry, Grand Coteau Elementary, Port Barry Elementary and High School, St. Ignatius, and Sunset Middle. And then in Vermilion, we have Erath Middle that is closed. Y'all. Tracy Wertz, Mark Pope, and Caleb's in with us. Caleb coming in from St. Martin Parish. Not too bad. Caleb has his chainsaw in his truck just in case. I love that, Caleb. I just think that's great.
I mean, what's the purpose of having a chainsaw if I don't get to use it?
Well, so, I don't know if he does service calls, but if he runs across one on the street, then, he's going to do all he can to take care of that. Your good friend Eddie Thibodeau, he just sent us a picture. There's a house off of Highway 741 near Highway 31 that has a lot of damage. So some parts of St. Landry Parish got a walloping.
I know that up toward Opelousas and north of Carencro, I mean, the shop last night, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
So I know once you started getting north of Carencro, the wind got even worse. Where I was, the wind was bad. But the rain, we got so much water so fast, which is going to soak up the ground's going to soak as much as it can. And then with that wind, now the ground's softer. So that's where you get uprooted trees.
Yeah. That's going to be not fun. And you heard Daniel, thankfully, give us he had time to jump on the line with us and give us some updates. So, Caleb, stand by. We do have callers coming in this morning. Good morning, K-Pel. You there? Hello? Oh, maybe they got radio shy. It's okay. We'll be with you in just a second, caller. But just be careful. Stuff down. So, the shop, Rustic Renegade, came through.
We're good to go. We'll be there at the shop.
Oh, there she is. Hi. Good morning. Can you hear me?
She's listening to the radio.
She must. Okay, maybe that's it. Anyway, so everything went okay at the shop. Good to know.
Everything went well at the shop. We've been in contact with the other business owners around us and everything else to see if anybody had any damage and if they need any help.
And you've been sitting here kind of tapping things on your phone, and you talked about lanterns. I'm sure, and I don't know that we talk a lot about the other things that you have available.
Yeah,
in the shop.
I don't really go into detail about all the stuff we have because we have so much. But one of the things that I use. And I use it, so therefore we sell at the shop, is Streamlight makes what's called a Super Siege, which is a lantern that is battery. Well, you can do the battery-powered version or rechargeable. The rechargeable one holds enough battery power to go ahead and you can charge your phone off of it, everything else. The battery-powered is 500 lumens, so it's enough to light up a room about 10 by 10. And that way you have some nice soft light that you can use to have a game night with your kids if you want to. And just go and continue on through the night, through these kind of storms. And
that is really cool.
Kind of safety.
I need that.
They come in handy, and we use them for camping, we use them for hunting, everything else, and then we keep them charged and ready just for occasions like this too.
Well, and you mentioned that you can charge your phone off of it. I think that's one of the things that folks struggle with when you go without power for a long time. It's like, oh my gosh, my phone's not charged up.
Well, and then what makes it even worse is, when power goes out, not everybody has board games lying around like we do, or a deck of cards. So what do? They're like, well, I'll play a game on my phone. And then before you realize it, you're at 5% with no way to charge your phone. So having alternative source of energy, having battery packs, having lithium batteries. The lithium battery will last 5 to 7 years if it's unused in original packaging. So all of these things, not only are they used for your firearms and for your weapon lights and all that stuff, but there are other applications that you can use them for too, such as charging your phone, camp stoves, all that kind of thing.
Well, and I think about charging phones, yes, to keep yourself occupied, but to keep up with weather. If the power goes out, you don't have access to television. You may not have, a plug-in radio, and you can listen to the radio right there on your phone.
You can do it right there on the phone. It's all the means of communication you need.
Exactly. So it is important that you keep your phone charged up. And it's nice to know that the Rustic Renegade sells that kind of stuff. So go see Caleb because he's got the good stuff. Like the good, he knows, he puts it to work on himself.
I use it semi-regularly. So.
There you go. He knows what he's selling. And just to quick let you know, this is Firearms Friday. We'll get more into firearms coming up after the break, but brought to you by Cajun Patriots. Cajun-Patriots.com. Mark.
Gorgeous place, Rustic Renegade. You need to go. Ambiance. Usually say that about a restaurant. Go to this place. I'm just going to tell you, the ambiance, you have to be there and experience. It is worth the trip.
Yeah. And we're going to go to news, but a friend of mine, she and I like to pick at each other, but she's probably one of the greatest people I know. Siobhan, she worked for a long time at the Cajun Dome, and you mentioned the trees. And she said because of the drought we had, it's weakened the trees even more, so we could see even more damage.
And you'll
keep
see
that in mind.
The trees, you're going to have trees that continue to fall as this goes on, right?
Right.
So right now, the ground is soaked. It's still soaking. As it goes through, we're going to have little breezes for the next 2-3 days or so. So go out, find good arborists that can do the work for you. Depending on where it is, you can do it yourself as well. But please be careful. If you've never felled a tree before, tension happens, and you'll see a lot of these limbs after they fall and they're wedged under a tree. If you start to cut them, go slow. Listen to the limbs breaking. If you hear it crack and creak, get some distance.
Yeah, absolutely. So be mindful of that. KPEL News Time is 7:32. We'll talk firearms after the break. It's time to get a good night's sleep, and now's the perfect time to buy a brand new, comfortable mattress. Home Furniture's Memorial Day mattress sale is going on now. Prices have never been better, and you won't get a better night's sleep when you choose the perfect mattress. They've got 5,000 of them in stock at Home Furniture. Queen mattress as low as $199. Yes, $199 for a queen mattress. Sealy Queen mattress, $598. Sealy Queen hybrid mattress, $898. I actually laid on this one and I almost took a nap in the store. Go by, check it out. And they're offering up to 60 months special financing with no money down and next day delivery. Yeah, they'll bring it to your house the very next day. Get your perfect mattress right now. 5,000 in stock. Home Furniture's Memorial Day mattress sale. Home Furniture plus bedding. Check out their new store on Johnston Street across from the mall. They've also got locations across South Louisiana. See store for details or go to homefurn.com.
KPEL covers Acadiana with Lowry's Printing and Copying.
St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office Training Division is hosting a Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries boater education course on Saturday, May 18th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the St. Martin Sheriff's Office Training Academy at 1815 Terrace Highway. Learn about all the factors, fun and safety factors related to boating. State law requires that all persons born after January 1, 1984 have this training. It's free and open to the public. Register at LouisianaOutdoors.com. 7th Annual Acadiana Po' Boy Festival is set for West Village Development in Scott. That's on the new Apollo Road in Scott. It's Saturday, May 18th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Food, fun, music, and more. And, of course, you can sample loads of delicious po' boys for a very reasonable price. Get the details at socialentertainment.net or follow Social Entertainment on Facebook.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17th. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas. It's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice, and a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the 6th inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3 with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirt.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
All right, that accident, Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron, thank you so much to the lady who called. It is southbound. It is on the south side of the bridge. Traffic is backed up from the Ambassador Caffrey overpass at Cameron to or nearly to I-10. So if that's how you typically come in, you're going to want to maybe get off in Scott or pass it up and come in on University. Also showing traffic accidents, Youngsville Highway at Ambassador Caffrey. We have an accident southeast of Angelin Thruway at Surrey. The board is populated again today as it was Tuesday with road hazards and some wire hazards. Be very careful as you travel around. We all got to keep going, right? Just be careful. And if you come to those lights, because there are several, they're malfunctioning and they're blinking or they're out, please treat it as a four-way and just y'all be kind to each other. Just please be kind. KPEL News Time is 7:43. Current temperature 76 degrees. KPEL News Time is 7:43 on this Friday morning, Firearms Friday. We just kind of had to delay it a little bit. Caleb's in. He's been in with us and provided some really great information. I'm all about the lantern, by the way. Caleb with Rustic Renegade and Firearms Friday brought to you by Cajun Patriots, Cajun-Patriots.com.
Well, with all the weather going on, you're going to need a good gun oil.
Okay.
Mark and I were talking about it. Going out, wherever I go, there's a firearm, right? And then with all this stuff, you're going to see wildlife moving around, trying to figure out what's going on just as much as we are. So if you're out and about and you have your handgun on you, you're sweating, you're cleaning debris and everything else, it's still raining. He was asking me, well, what do you do after that? Look, you don't have to rush and clean your firearm right then and there, especially if you use a good gun oil like the Cajun Patriots gun oil.
Mm-hmm.
You can wait till the end of the day, till the work's done, everything else. Wipe it down, dry it off. You don't have to do a full detailed cleaning, but dry it off, wipe it down, then come back with a light coat of that gun oil, and it'll prevent the rust from creeping in very quickly. It's not like you have to stop what you're doing, like, oh, my God, my pistol got wet. No.
Okay.
Modern firearms with modern finishes and a good gun oil, it will preserve that firearm.
Oh, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Caleb, the legislature's been busy, and we're seeing some of the most watched bills come to fruition now. And one of them is incredibly interesting. If you're a hunter, tell us what's happening.
So they did away with the lifetime hunting and fishing licenses for people under the age of 3. That bill only lasted until 2020. So for people now who've had children since 2020, they're now getting to the age where they can buy them for them again because they'll be 5 or older. But you weren't able to buy them for your infant. This bill is coming back into place. Right now it's going through committee. It's passed the House. I think it's going to the Senate right now, where they're going to reinstate a lifetime hunting and fishing license for your infant, which the state says is 3 or under.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You have the bill right there in front of you.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
But to me, that is
I can read. I'm looking at you.
That is a perfect gift for that grandson or granddaughter that you just had. That's the perfect gift for the child that you just had, because for $500, they can get their basic hunting, basic fishing, and their basic WMA all at once. So the only thing they have to do is pay for a duck stamp.
No.
Or if they want like a trapping license or something else. And that's their entire life. I mean, my hunting licenses, my hunting and fishing, I spend probably $125, $130 a year.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm looking at. Lifetime licenses, $500 for infants, $500 if they're 3 to 64. If you're a senior citizen, 65 or older, you get it for $100. Those are for residents. But yeah, I mean, if you buy a $100 license every year, I mean, even at $100, that
it pays for itself.
Oh my gosh,
so much faster. I wish that we'd have had these when I was a child, because I don't know if my grandfather would have bought it for me. But man, I'd have begged for this for Christmas, And to me, it's a great gift. And right now, the way this is written, it should come back into play in January 1st of 2025, as long as the governor signs it in. Reading it and going through it, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't. I don't see a reason why this wouldn't make it to the House with no problems. Whenever the original one came through, the state did notice a dip in income from hunting licenses because everyone was having the lifetimes.
Right.
But this is something. My oldest is 19. My youngest is 14. So now their license would be a little bit more. Well, actually, no.
It's 500.
It's 500, so it's still worth it.
Yeah.
So
basically,
maybe
from
that's
when
what
you're
I'll buy
born, right?
Yeah,
for Christmas.
maybe that's what I'll buy them for Christmas this year.
If you're from an infant to age 64, it's $500.
Yeah, and
so the earlier you buy it,
the penny saved is penny earned.
Yeah, right. It's true.
This to me is something phenomenal. And look, when they're under the age of, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure there's a wildlife and fisheries agent listening. When they're under the age of 16, they don't have to have a hunter education. So they can get this, work toward getting a hunter education. That way they're good for as they go through, because once they're 16 and they need their license, well, then you have to have hunter education, everything else with it. So this protects them for whenever they get older. You're also going to give them the education they need, and you're going to save money in the long term.
So they just get their hunting and fishing license, and they don't have to. I mean, obviously, you want to get them hunter education.
Well, and they'll get it once they're 16. They will go through and have to get the training.
Okay, I got you.
And that's what St. Martin was putting on. I don't remember the date that you had said that earlier, but they have a range day and a safety day. They don't go in that order, and then you can do a lot of your class online. And it teaches them basic firearm safety, hunter safety, and hunter education. Because understanding how to use a firearm and understanding safety when you're hunting are two different things.
Yes.
Especially learning how to navigate, because people get lost in Thistlethwaite and Sherburne very often. How to use a compass. It goes into a little bit of that stuff, and then things like why you wear hunter's orange.
Yes.
So
can the ladies still wear pink?
They can wear hot pink. My wife's got some hot pink camo.
I remember that.
So, Caleb, you're a hunter. You're an outdoorsman. You're a hunter, a fisher, you're a marksman, all of the above. All right, so I have a curiosity question, and I think you can probably touch on part of the answer. You've got deer season, and it rotates. You've got it in this zone and in this zone. Do you understand the logic behind that?
Okay, you know what? I think that's a great question. We do need to take a quick break. We'll be right back. KPEL News Time, 7:49.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
We're showing an accident, 600 Jenkins Road. That's in Lafayette Parish. Youngsville Highway and Ambassador Caffrey and Broussard, we have an accident. South Evangeline Thruway in Surrey, and still working that accident. Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron, it is on the bridge. It is southbound, and traffic is really backed up. So if you come in to Lafayette on Ambassador Caffrey, you might want to go to Scott or get off in at University to avoid being stuck. Current temperature is 76 degrees.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
KPEL News Time is 7:53. As we continue Firearms Friday, we got started a few minutes late. We've got some things going on a little bit.
And a little bit of commotion out there.
Yeah, some school closures. We do have that at our website. I have talked to, I'm thinking first responders in Iberia, St. Martin. We heard from Lafayette and St. Landry. A lot of those folks are still assessing the situations, but there are some areas where trees are on the roadways, kind of keeping things from flowing. They're doing their best to clear them as quickly as possible. The power outage numbers are coming down, but Caleb, you're from St. Martin Parish, and they just took a walloping again.
Yeah, and I heard you talking earlier about Henderson. That on-ramp, that exit section right there, the water is always pretty bad, and there's a lot of congestion. So, and they're without power in that area as well.
Yeah, that. Thank you so much to the one wonderful lady who called in there. It looks like last night the areas that saw the most damage or action were like Breaux Bridge, St. Martinville Parks, which help geographically. That's more the southern part of the parish.
That's all the southern part of the parish along I-10, which Pat's at Henderson took a beating.
Oh gosh,
and that place has been there forever.
Well, I guess I meant the western part. Anyway, it wasn't as much Henderson as.
Well, that's the southeastern part of it. That's going toward Baton Rouge and everything else.
Right.
And they did. Last night, there was just a lot of water. And then as you got further toward like Cecilia and Parks, the wind was picking up there too. I was very lucky where our house is. We got it, but not as bad as a lot of other people.
Yeah. In Lafayette, we've had reports of trees down and so forth. Just be careful as you travel. Okay, we have about a minute and a half, just over a minute and a half. Mark asked a question about why you think they set the zones like for specifically for deer hunting in Louisiana.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with migration, and then when the animals go into like their rut or their peak movement. So they'll have like area 1, area 2, area 3, and so forth. And the size and shape of them is determined not only by landowners and property, but by their movement. That way, if you're in area 1, and I'm just saying this number randomly, we don't want your season to end on the 12th whenever peak movement is on the 30th. So that's why the season kind of changes and morphs a little bit in these zones, is so that you can get peak hunting times and peak movement times for the proper duration of the season.
Yeah, and they always post the zone map and stuff on the Wildlife
They
and
post the
Fisheries
zone
website.
map. You can, if you get on their email bulletin, they'll email it out to you as well. This year we had to beg for them, but we got the zone maps at the shop and we give them away. They give them to us, so we give them away. That's one of those things. Like I like having them because I look at those religiously and wait for duck season, deer season, everything to start.
You know, as we talk, Caleb, Rustic Renegade has a lot of things. I mean, you guys obviously specialize in firearms and cleaning and making sure you maintain that, but you got lanterns. I really need one of those, and I'm not joking.
They're worth having, especially during this kind of season and hurricane season. I have battery power lanterns, and then I keep oil lanterns and all that kind of stuff too for myself, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Because the old adage that I was told is 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is a spare.
Good.
Wow.
I like that. And these lanterns that he has, by the way, you can charge your phone on them too. KPEL News Time is 7:57. We have a look at news on the way. Please be careful as you travel around this morning.
Fox Business Report is brought to you by Walter Campbell and Deborah Pierce of Keller Williams Realty. For all of your commercial property needs, reach out to Walter and Deborah today.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Meme stocks AMC and GameStop are both higher this morning. It appears the stocks will finish the week substantially higher than where they started. Coming into today's session, AMC shares are up 59% over the past 5 days. GameStop is 58% higher than a week ago. The revival of meme stock trading has helped trading platform Robinhood Markets. Its shares are up 10% this week. Shoppers are back to buying shoes in person, especially from Skechers. The athletic footwear brand says sales involving retailers were up nearly 10% in the recent quarter from a year ago. And Daimler Truck and Volvo Group will form a joint venture to develop software-based manufacturing that will build digitized heavy-duty vehicles. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Police in Louisville, Kentucky are teed off at the world's #1 golfer. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Scotty Scheffler arrested this morning for what happened on his way to the course for round 2 of the PGA Championship, a major golf tournament that was delayed after there was a deadly crash near the course when a shuttle bus hit a pedestrian.
ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington, who actually witnessed the entire incident, saying it happened, quote, after his attempt to drive past a police officer into Valhalla Golf Club. Now, Darlington goes on to say, quote, the police officer then began to scream at Scheffler to get out of the car. When Scheffler exited the vehicle, the officer shoved Scheffler against the car and immediately placed him in handcuffs.
Fox's Todd Pyro. There's a mugshot of Scotty Scheffler now posted on the Louisville Corrections website with an inmate number as the golfer faces several charges. Drama in the House. A Republican congresswoman got into a shouting match with some Democrats who were upset that Marjorie Taylor Greene asked Jasmine Crockett if her fake eyelashes are affecting her reading. Then after they were all admonished by Chairman James Comer, Crockett's reply:
if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Shouldn't
I have
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
So you don't want to talk about
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification. Look, calm down.
All that before House Republicans voted in the Oversight and Judiciary Committees to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress for not handing over recordings of President Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur in the classified documents investigation. The president has asserted his executive privilege blocking that. There's a lot of damage and some flooding around Houston.
We had a storm with 100 miles per hour winds.
Mayor John Whitmire says it was like a hurricane. 4 people were killed. Louisiana was also hit. There are more than 900,000 power outages in those 2 states, Texas and Louisiana. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, if you want a firearm that is easy to transport, you got to check out the U.S. Survival Rifle from our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, it is a portable rifle that you can put together, take apart in just minutes. And then when you're not using it, you can store the parts in the little case that it comes in. It's so small you can store it pretty much anywhere, and it's light enough to carry everywhere. Now, it comes in black and 2 different camo patterns, and you can pick one up for $300 to $400 depending on the finish. Check out their videos. Go to their website. It's one word, henryusa.com/survival. And while you're there, make sure you order their free catalog. Now, Henry makes more than 200 rifles and shotguns and revolvers, all made in America, all backed by a lifetime satisfaction guarantee and the best customer service in the business. Go to their website, henryusa.com. Get their free catalog. They'll send you free decals and a list of dealers where you are. That's henryusa.com. Free catalog decals for the Henry U.S. Survival.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide. Also known as laughing gas, it's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice, and a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the 6th inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3, with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz.
The Cajun Heartland State Fair is coming May 23rd through June 2nd. This year, the fair celebrates its 36th anniversary, and you can celebrate with early bird savings. Get the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack before the start of the fair and save. The News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack includes 4 ride wristbands and 4 fair admission vouchers for only $100. And you can redeem them on any day of the fair you choose. Save now when you score the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack. Only $100. And hurry, because there's a limited quantity of the Advanced Mega Packs. Get yours today. You can buy the News Talk 96.5 KPEL Advanced Mega Pack at the Cajun Dome box office or online at CajunDome.com. LUS presents the 36th Annual Cajun Heartland State Fair, May 23rd to June 2nd. At the Cajun Dome, experience the wild rides on the Gold Star Midway or free family entertainment like Scott's World of Magic. Learn more at KPEL965.com and click on the Cajun Dome link. Brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL, where Acadiana comes to talk.
The Rustic Renegade is your one-stop shop in Lafayette for firearms, concealment furniture, men's grooming products, and our locally roasted coffee.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Vehicle accident on Peach Street. We have an accident 1600 block of Evangeline Thruway. Jenkins Road in Lafayette Parish. Youngsville and Ambassador. Youngsville Highway, that is, and Ambassador and Broussard. Southeast Evangeline Thruway in Surrey. We're still having issues. Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron on the bridge. That's southbound into Lafayette. Be careful in all those areas. Traffic control issues really causing problems. We have lights out, lights blinking. Be patient and just be kind to one another. Current temperature is 76 degrees on this Friday morning. KPEL News Time is 8:12. Thank you so much for being here. Mark Pope, Tracy Wirtz joining you. Quick update out of Iberia Parish. They had some trees blocking the roadway. Lee Station at Highway 14 and the 800 block of Segura Road flooded. They have opened some since then, but just be really careful, especially with things going down or down power lines, down trees. I can tell you, tracking the power outages across Acadiana, the numbers are coming down steadily, and that is really, really good news. Mark, we have a guest on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have one of my coworkers, one of the good guys from Lafayette Consolidated Government. Russell Berg is the Code Enforcement Supervisor with the Environmental Quality Division. We're going to talk about debris collection. So, Russell, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for helping us out with informing the people.
Sure. Good morning, Mark and Tracy. How are y'all?
Good morning.
Doing well. So, yes. These are trying times, even though this is not quite a hurricane, but there is Lafayette, fared, if you look at Acadiana as a whole, we did better than a lot of areas that got slammed, both Monday night and on Thursday night. And so there is debris down out there. And part of what Russell does, I'm going to let you tell us generally, give us the Cliff Notes, Russell, about what you do as Code Enforcement Supervisor.
Well, related to this storm material that's out there right now, these fallen trees and damaged things that get blown around, we work with the local waste contractor, Acadiana Waste Services, to ensure that people get these things removed from their property. So on a normal day, it's just your garbage and your recycling and your normal yard waste. When we have an event like this, it's more significant, but AWS has been tackling this from day one. They've been out there running additional trucks. They plan on running some trucks over the weekend, this weekend, next weekend if necessary. It's been a significant event for some people and a non-event for others. So we're steadily looking at what's out there and what's required. There's some assistance with the public works crews that are going out there and picking up some of the larger items that are non-compliant with the regular curbside collection contract. That's basically what's going on right now, Mark.
Sure. Yeah, and part of what you do is property maintenance. And like you said, if somebody has this hodgepodge pile that's not eligible for collection, you're going to work with those homeowners and say, hey, you have to correct this because it's not going to be picked up as it currently sits. And if it drags on, then unfortunately at some point you're going to have to send in somebody to clean up the mess. So
yeah, this is true. We're patient. We do want people to put things out in consideration of the normal compliance regulations. We want them to, if they want it picked up quicker, it should be, no single item greater than 50 pounds, no branches longer than 6 feet. We are, through the public works crews, removing small amounts of construction debris, a few fence boards here and there, that kind of thing. But we're not equipped to deal with the removal of an entire shed or something of that nature.
Right.
Those things would have to be hired to be hauled, and the same thing goes for tree waste. If you hire a tree company to go in and remove a 1,000-pound limb from your backyard, well, that tree company should also haul off that limb.
Right.
It should not be put out the curb for the waste company to collect.
Correct. In other words, when you hire work done, it's not eligible for collection by Acadiana Waste Services with that yard waste service. If they pay to have the tree removed or cut down, then that tree company has to remove the debris.
That is true.
Yes. Okay, let's also define, because people are listening, and Russell Berg, Code Enforcement Supervisor with Lafayette Consolidated Government, we are talking about people, residents who live in the city of Lafayette or unincorporated parts of Lafayette Parish. Scott, Karen Crow, Dusson, Youngsville, they all have their own individual garbage contracts, and the rules vary from place to place. So once again, the info that Russell is giving us has to do with you live in the city of Lafayette or unincorporated parts of Lafayette Parish, meaning you live in no corporate limits. Okay, so let's set that out. So give us, you kind of went through it. What happens, Russell, if people have tree debris and they cut it up and they put it out, and then they've got fence debris and they commingle that pile? They throw the fence boards in with the yard waste. Is that going to present a problem?
It does. It's not desirable. Occasionally a piece will sneak through, but if it's obvious, it's going to delay the collection or it might be a denial of collection until it's corrected. So we do ask that, if you have some fence boards, some loose shingles or stuff like that you need to get rid of, if you're able to fit it into your garbage can, if it's that small of an amount, please do that. But don't mix it in with your yard waste, because it will certainly cause a delay. We'll have to have a discussion about it. We'll have to ask you to remove it so that it can be collected eventually.
Yeah. So, and also we had Christina Dayries. Thank you, Tracy. Christina was in yesterday, Russell, and kind of gave us over this, and we're kind of reviewing it because, look, especially when people are cleaning up and life gets complicated, sometimes the facts and what we need to do get past us, and that's kind of why we're going over this. So another thing that Christina told us yesterday is this is not, you cannot put bags of garbage out on the ground. That's why we have the carts. Garbage must be inside of the cart, which is collected with an automated truck.
Absolutely. That's, household garbage and yard waste are completely separate animals. Our yard waste, as you well know, Mark, goes to our composting facility and supports our composting program. So contamination is a major issue. And certainly we don't want to waste space in a landfill by filling it up with yard waste. So we keep those things separate for a reason.
Right. And here's a tip that I used to ride with Russell. We worked together for years. And if you're cutting the branches and you just go and you throw them, right, and you've got this crisscross pile, what's going to happen with that? Yes, it will be collected, but you're going to have a lot of residue left there, because if you stack the branches nice and neat right on top of each other, all in the same direction, that claw truck that's going to come and mash that pile, pick it up and put it in the, we call it a boom truck with a big container on the back. It's going to be a lot cleaner sweep, if you will. You're going to have less debris left on the ground. So if you do it right, if you do it like Russell told us, nice and neat and tidy, they will be able to pick up a much higher percentage of your debris. If you just crisscross it and make this hodgepodge pile, you're going to have a lot of debris that's left over after that collection truck leaves.
Yeah, there's certainly some truth to that, Mark. It's, some people think they're doing the garbage company a favor by putting it out in little bitty piles all across the 100 foot of frontage that they might have on the street. That's not desirable either. Try and put it in one pile. So that way when the claw truck comes in, they can pick it up, they can load it, and they can go. Otherwise, they have to pick up a little pile, move forward, pick up another little pile, move forward. It's not very efficient. So put it in the pile, make it neat. Don't block the roadway, please, and keep the trash out of the pile.
And finally, if you would, Russell, talk about the obstructions. If people pile their branches right up against a telephone pole or a mailbox or a light pole,
absolutely,
that's going to create a collection problem. Address that, please.
Yeah, that's the general rule all the time. Try and maintain at least 3 feet of clearance between anything that you don't want damaged, including your mailbox or a utility pole. It makes it a lot easier for the collection effort. Nobody wants to damage a mailbox. Nobody wants to knock out your power one more time. So keep that distance for safety reasons.
And finally, people maybe with a physical challenge or elderly folks that need help getting debris to the curb. I believe your Mayor Boulay has set up that. Who do people call to get that help if they need it, Russell?
So in the press release that we put out earlier in the week, 232-HELP also has a easier number to remember now. It's 211. They can provide people with potential resources for assisting them if they're financially or physically disabled.
Okay. Good job. Good work as always, Russell. Thank you for what you do, and good luck with the cleanup. Russell Berg, Code Enforcement Supervisor with Lafayette Consolidated Government. Thanks again for your time, Russell.
Thank you, Mark and Tracy. Y'all stay safe.
You too, Russell. KPEL News Time, 8:22.
Hi, I'm Dale Brown, best-selling techno-thriller author. I'm also a mission pilot and squadron commander in the Civil Air Patrol. The members of the Civil Air Patrol are volunteer professionals who serve their communities and their nation every day with emergency services, aerospace education, and cadet programs. We train hard, we fly hard, and we get the job done for America. Join the Civil Air Patrol. Visit www.gocivilairpatrol.com and let's go flying.
Did you know that every year 11 to 1,200 children are experiencing homelessness in Lafayette Parish? The Gifting Grace Project, Acadiana's homeless children's outreach, works to provide and support these children throughout the year. Every donation goes to support these children and provide them with backpacks with school supplies, hygiene products, snacks, and more. Go to giftinggraceproject.com to learn more information or text GGP to 53555 and donate today. Thank you.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5. KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Kind of a mess out there again today. We have an accident, 800 block of North University. That is near Madeline Avenue. So be careful in that area. Another accident, 900 Peach Street. Still showing that accident, 1600 block of Southeast Evangeline Thruway. That is likely, yes, it's just north of I-10 between Ponte Mouton and I-10. We have still that accident, Ambassador Caffrey at Cameron. It was on the bridge southbound. Hopefully they are clearing that up, but you might experience some slowdowns if you're coming into town. And Southeast Evangeline Thruway and Surrey Street, still showing an accident there. Lights are out across the city. You might see a light doing fine, and then you come up to the next one and it's out. So treat it as a four-way and be kind. Current temperature is 75 degrees. KPEL News Time is 8:27 on this Friday morning. As we wake up, it feels like Groundhog Day, after Tuesday and everything that we dealt with. And Mark, I've been kind of looking through social media, and there are a lot of trees down.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know my brother lives across the street from my mom in the house that we grew up in, and there are some big trees, and one of them, thankfully, it fell into another tree, but it's really tall, and the root it's just massive. And Kayla brought up a good reminder, as did my friend Siobhan earlier, that not only is the ground saturated, the ground under these trees are saturated. So with any kind of wind, it could take them over. And who knows where they'll go at that point. And the drought last year affected the roots of those trees. And, so those are all things to consider. It's not surprising that we see the trees down. Speaking of trees down, in St. Martin Parish, Jenny Higgins let us know, and it's actually on their Facebook page as well. A tree was blocking the road, 1400 block of Duchamp Road in St. Martinville. Ruth Bridge closed from the 1100 block of Poydras Highway due to down power lines and down trees. Jeanette Street off of Cemetery also had a tree blocking it. One lane is blocked in the 1000 block of Lady of the Lake Road. And again, that's a tree. I think that this is going to be the case across Acadiana. First responders are basically getting out and trying to assess the situation to find out if they need to close roads, where they need to send crews, that kind of thing. So those updates will come throughout the day. We do have someone calling us this morning. Good morning, KPEL. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, is this KPEL?
It is. It is. Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to say maybe you could point out on the air to alleviate with flooding, like have homeowners look at the drains for the sewer on the streets and make sure they're clear. Like I noticed my neighbor blows grass and like leaves and stuff, and it clogs up the drain. So I go out there and I clean it so I get better drainage in front of my house.
No, that is a great reminder. Thank you so very much. And, thanks. Have a good day. Be safe. And not only that, Mark, and you mentioned it, I think maybe earlier this week. Again, it's Groundhog Day. As you have this debris and we get more wind and more rain, it pushes some of that debris to the drains.
Yeah.
So just make sure that they're clear, because as Daniel said, we could get more rain tonight. It could be a significant amount. And you certainly don't want water encroaching onto your house because the water doesn't have anywhere to go because they're blocked.
That's right. Excellent call, sir. Thanks for your observation, and thanks for informing our good listeners.
All right, we're going to take a break and take a look at some news, and we'll have more coming up. KPEL News Time, 8:30. The nasty weather should be out of here by this weekend. So Saturday night, you could have a barbecue. Wouldn't that be great to get outside and enjoy some pretty weather? Well, Rouse's Markets has beautifully marbled, juicy, delicious, hand cut Chairman's Reserve 100% premium USDA Angus Choice beef boneless top sirloin steaks. Throw that on the grill. What's even better, the price. They are value packed at $5.99 a pound. You will save $5 a pound. Bone-in center loin pork chops. These are my favorite cut of pork chops. And right now you can get them for $1.99 a pound. You'll save $2.50 a pound. 12-count single serve and 12-ounce bags of community coffee, just $4.97. You'll save up to $4.52. By the way, I need to go replenish my coffee stock. And at those prices, I can. Rouse's Markets. You can get granulated sugar, 100% Louisiana sugar cane, just $2.87. You'll save 82 cents. And congratulations to the graduates of 2024 from Rouse's Markets. 4 locations in Lafayette, 1 in New Iberia.
KPEL covers Acadiana with Lowry's Printing and Copying.
St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office Training Division is hosting a Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries boater education course on Saturday, May 18th, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the St. Martin Sheriff's Office Training Academy at 1815 Terrace Highway. Learn about all the factors, fun and safety factors related to boating. State law requires that all persons born after January 1, 1984 have this training. It's free and open to the public. Register at LouisianaOutdoors.com. 7th Annual Acadiana Po' Boy Festival is set for West Village Development in Scott. That's on the new Apollo Road in Scott. It's Saturday, May 18th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Food, fun, music, and more. And, of course, you can sample loads of delicious po' boys for a very reasonable price. Get the details at socialentertainment.net or follow Social Entertainment on Facebook.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Friday, May 17th. Storms raged through Acadiana last night, and more than 20,000 people are without power this morning in our area. Damage is being reported in several parts of Lafayette, St. Martin, and St. Landry. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning as more information becomes available. Lafayette's first female police chief is stepping down from the post for personal reasons. Judith Estorge has been on the job for 19 months. The Lafayette police veteran has been a member of the ranks since 1993 and will remain with the department with the rank of captain. In a release, Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay expressed appreciation for Estorge's service and says an interim police chief will be named on May 28th. Governor Jeff Landry held a pair of town hall meetings Thursday morning in the New Orleans area to push for the passage of the LA Gator Scholarship Program, which would give Louisiana families the ability to use taxpayer dollars to pay for private school education. Opponents are concerned about the cost of the program. Landry says ESAs empower parents, put them in control of the type of education they want their child to receive, and will improve schools. The governor is fighting opposition from the state's public school districts. NAACP Legal Defense Fund attorney Jared Evans says he's pleased about the decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the congressional map adopted in January to stand for the fall elections. With the clock ticking on the Louisiana Secretary of State's deadline of May 15th and qualifying for elections in mid-July, Evans believes Wednesday's ruling came down to timing. But Edward Grime, an attorney for Republican plaintiffs, including 6th District Congressman Garrett Graves, says the state has enacted a map of brutal racial gerrymander that segregates voters based on race. The Louisiana legislature has sent a bill to the governor's desk that bans the sale of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas. It's sold in metal containers in convenience stores and smoke shops. It can be used to make homemade whipped cream, but the director of Louisiana's Poison Control Center, Mark Ryan, says some people use it for recreational purposes, which is dangerous. If Governor Jeff Landry signs the bill, Louisiana would become the first state to completely ban public sale of nitrous oxide. The Pelican Institute for Public Policy and Liberty Justice Center have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn President Biden's ban on approvals for new liquefied natural gas projects. The suit calls the ban unconstitutional and indefensible, saying it violates the separation of powers and exceeds the president's authority. The plaintiffs are organizations that represent the Oil and Gas Workers Association. Authorities say a 15-year-old girl from Terrebonne Parish was sexually abused, set on fire, and shot twice. And a car crash on the I-10 service road in Baytown likely saved her life. Medical personnel believe the teen's injuries were consistent with abuse. 41-year-old Terrence Washington of Thibodaux admitted to shooting and sexually abusing the teen. The girl's mother allegedly blamed the girl for the abuse and set her on fire. Washington and the child's mother face child cruelty charges and attempted first-degree murder. The third rotation of Louisiana National Guard soldiers to support Operation Lone Star has been mobilized. The group of 50 will replace the previous troops assisting their Texas counterparts at the U.S.-Mexico border. The commander says the mission is going smoothly. Louisiana National Guard soldiers are working to prevent, detect, and deter illegal migrant crossings. The Raging Cajuns baseball game on Thursday night at the Teague against South Alabama was suspended in the bottom of the sixth inning. The game will resume this afternoon at 3 with Louisiana at the plate with 1 out and 1 runner on base. Louisiana was leading 6-4 when the game was suspended. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz. You need a last-minute graduation gift? Well, if you want something special, head over to Neighbors Pharmacy. Yes, Neighbors Pharmacy. They have an amazing gift selection. Everything from religious items to motivational books, car diffusers, Sweet Grace gift items, Tyler Glamorous Wash in different scents. That's always nice. Put together a little Pamper Me pack for the graduate in your life. They've also got First Communion, Baptism, and Confirmation gifts, and so much more. Go by Neighbors Pharmacy. They're located on Johnston Street, right next to West Broussard. And check out their oral semaglutide weight loss drug. Yes, the stuff that everybody's raging about. Well, you will need a prescription, but this is really neat. No needles needed. You put a drop under your tongue and watch the weight melt away. You can use it daily. Just ask your doctor about a prescription. Call Neighbors Pharmacy if you have any questions. 337-706-7706. Visit them online, too, at neighborspharmacy.com. Don't forget, they offer delivery service. That's right, Neighbors Pharmacy.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
All right, buckle up, friends and neighbors. We got a full board. 500 Cajun Dome Boulevard. That's at its intersection with Congress. Another one, 2300 block of Congress Street. 800 North University. We have an accident 1600 Southeast Evangeline Thruway, which is between I-10 and Ponte-Mouton. We have an accident on Jenkins Road and Southeast Evangeline Thruway in Surrey. Still lots of lights that are not working, so just expect it. You might have one, and then a few blocks later, that one's out. So, again, be kind. Please treat them as a four-way. Current temperature 74 degrees. KPEL News Time is 8:41 on this Friday morning as folks still in different areas try to climb out from the damage that was left from last night's storm. St. Martin Parish, of course, hit again pretty hard. The good news is that the power outage numbers are declining. They had 10,000 without power just, I don't know what, Mark, half hour or so ago. Mm-hmm. That's down to just over 5,500. The numbers are coming down, and Slimco, Entergy, LUS, Clico, they are all working as quickly and safely as possible. Unfortunately, there's still some rain coming down. It's not heavy, and hopefully it stays away so they can get it back up and running. And hopefully the storms tonight aren't too bad so that we don't, here we go again. Geez. Now, remember, if you weren't here earlier, I do want to tell them this, and then we can get to some sports, Mark. We talked to Daniel Phillips about 7:15 this morning, and he kind of painted the picture of what to expect tonight. And yes, there could be more heavy, severe storms coming. That said, he told us that the longer it stays gray and cloudy and kind of drizzly and gross outside, the better it will be for later because this stabilizes the atmosphere. If the sun comes out, it kind of heats things up and the atmosphere gets all excited and crazy and and then later on it's bad.
And then you throw in some Daniel terms like convection peptide or something like that. You know, where the atmosphere...
Mesoconvective complex.
Oh, Lord.
I have no idea what that means.
It means unstable
And so
atmosphere.
and here, this was interesting. If you're like me and you watch the radar, again, I'm just a weather nerd, right? You know, I enjoy that kind of stuff. If you look at the radar, you're like, well, wait, it looks like everything's clear.
Yeah.
It is now in terms of nothing really bad. He said what they're watching is that weather that's coming through Corpus Christi.
Right.
To find out, because that's what they're expecting to come across here.
Yep.
How serious it gets is going to depend on the conditions today. Now, I'm not playing a meteorologist on the radio. I'm basically just echoing what Daniel said earlier.
Right, what Daniel told us. And I agree. Look, I said, okay, well then good. Let's keep the gray, overcast, yucky, with a lot of humidity. Keep the atmosphere stable. Yeah, agreed. But
embrace the gross now.
Correct. We're talking about movement of fronts west to east.
Right.
Look, prayers and condolences to our friends to the west, our neighbors to the west in Texas. I believe there was, I don't know how many deaths. I know one in the Houston area. They got hit very, very hard last night, and you never want to hear that. So, thoughts and prayers to our friends to the west in Texas that got really hit really hard last night.
All right, all right, speaking of weather, last night the baseball game had to be delayed until today. There are some changes or some information that folks need to know. As a matter of fact, we had a caller earlier asking about the baseball games.
Correct. All right. So what happened was around about 8:15, 8:20, we hit a lightning delay. There was no weather, but there was lightning seen. When that happens, you pause for 30 minutes. And the delay went on for about an hour. So I guess a second sighting of lightning happened. So it was about an hour delay. And then about 9 p.m., the word came down from Jay Walker, the play-by-play for Ragin' Cajun Athletics, that the game would be suspended and resumed today at 3 p.m. over at ML Teague Field, where the Cajuns were. Last night was game one, taking on South Alabama. So that game was suspended last night. Bottom of the sixth inning. This is on your news stories. Bottom of the sixth inning. Cajuns batting with one out, and the Cajuns have a 6-4 lead. That's where we will pick up at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Now, the caller said, what about the game that was regularly scheduled for today, for Friday evening at 6 p.m.? We do not know that. I'm going to speculate, which is probably not a good thing because of the potential for more weather. I think they're going to take a half hour or so break in between the end of today's first game, which, again, is 3 o'clock. The game resumes. I think they're going to take a 30-minute or so break and then start the Friday night game, and it might be at 5 p.m. or thereabouts. That is speculation. Jay Walker will tell. Tune in right here, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. We'll be on the air about 2:50, first pitch at 3 o'clock, and then Jay will tell you when the second game, if you will, happens, which is Friday's game. So that's it. 3-game series against South Alabama. And then tomorrow, hopefully the weather clears on Saturday, and it will be a 2 p.m. start, Cajuns versus South Alabama over at Teague Field. Okay? Now. Softball. Our Cajuns are hosting a regional. There are 4 teams in, the Cajuns being obviously one team. Then you've got Ole Miss, Baylor, and Princeton. Now, UL and Princeton were set to play today at 4 p.m.
Okay.
That has been moved. The start for Louisiana versus Princeton is now 12 noon. And if you can't make it out, people will be there because this is big. This is the playoffs. So, but if you can't make it out, you can tune in 103.3 FM, The GOAT, 11:30 pregame, 12 noon first pitch. Go Cajuns. Hopefully they will win that regional over at Yvette Girard Field.
And hopefully they can get those games in, too.
Yeah, really, because all this pausing and, the weather interruptions, it's frustrating because life does need to go on, but it can drag a game that's normally, several hours. It can double that. So hopefully you're right. Hopefully we don't see that.
And I've been scrolling through social media, and just my heart goes out to those folks who are going to have to not just clear branches, but clear trees.
Yeah.
A lot of trees coming down, and that could be the case. A reminder again tonight, depending on the strength of the wind and how much rain we actually get. Now, okay, you mentioned baseball, just so that I have it in my brain. In terms of regular games, I know we'll finish out the game from last night. Mm-hmm. They have one tonight, one tomorrow. Do they have one Sunday?
No.
Okay.
Because it's the final series of the season, rather than a Friday, Saturday, Sunday 3-game series. Okay. The final series is for all Sun Belt Conference teams, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Got it.
No games on Sunday, and then the conference tournament begins next week, I think Montgomery, Alabama, but don't quote me on that.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll come back to wrap up the show, give you some final information about what you can look for throughout the morning coming up. KPEL News Time, 8:49.
This is Acadiana's home for breaking news and weather. News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Depend on it.
A little more active weather to get through once again later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. Most of the day today is going to be fairly cloudy with some streamer showers possible out there. The strongest showers and storms arrive later in the evening and in the early morning hours of Saturday. Weather will finally clear out through the day Saturday, and then sunny skies returning by Sunday. Temperatures today at about 86 degrees for the high. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Cajun Dome Boulevard and Congress Street, we have an accident. 2300 block of Congress, 800 block of North University. Also still showing that accident, 1600 block of Southeast Evangeline Thruway. That is between I-10 and Pont de Mouton Road. Drizzly and gross, but we actually want it that way so that it keeps the severity of what's coming at us later tonight to a minimum. Current temperature is 75 degrees. KPEL News Time is 8:53 on this Friday morning. Tracy Wertz, Mark Pope, thank you so much for joining us and for engaging this morning. The phone calls to help us share good information were great. Thank you to Scott, Andrea, who commented about New Iberia on our website. And she said, and Iberia Parish Sheriff confirmed that Lee Station Road at Highway 14 in New Iberia blocked by multiple trees. Again, that's Lee Station Road at Highway 14, not just trees, power lines, etc. She said you have to detour using Miguez Road, then to Avery Island Road. We have some closures in St. Martin Parish as they try to clear things. 1400 block of Duchamp in St. Martinville, 1100 block of Poydras, Jeanette Street off Cemetery, one lane blocked at the 1000 block of Lady of the Lake Road. So just be aware of that and the fact that those traffic lights are going to be out. Mark, schools some schools were closed today. For Karen Crow High School, it's closed, but they will still hold graduation. The determinations will be made, I think it's in Evangeline Parish, about the graduations there. For power outages, just to kind of update you on numbers, in Acadia Parish, we have about 1,000 people still without power. In Vermilion, 850. In Iberia Parish, about 2,400. In Lafayette Parish, we've got about 8,400 people without power. Over in St. Martin, 4,200. And now, Mark, that comes down from 10. That was at 10,000 just about an hour and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so they are really working fast. 8,300 people without power in St. Landry, and almost 1,200 people without power in Evangeline. Can we please not do this again tonight?
Right. You know, I heard in the discussion with the meteorologist this week, it's like these fronts are rare for our area.
Yeah.
You know, the springtime where the cooler air meets the warm air. And then to see it twice in a week.
No kidding.
It's crazy.
All right. Caller, you're on the air. We have about a minute. Hi, KPEL. Oh, you're breaking up. Sound like a robot. You must be in a dead zone. Okay, well, thank you for trying at least. And look, the people that messaged us, it was on our app, and you can do that. If you download the app, we push out things like school closures, any major issues, tips, tricks, advice, that sort of thing, especially in these severe weather events. And you can get us a message as well. There's a chat feature on there. And when you send it in, we see it immediately in our email. So thank you so much for being so plugged in today. Mark, I know you're going to be working baseball. We'll be listening to see if those games happen on time.
That's right. All I say, go Cajuns.
Absolutely. The pitch for the game that's going to resume today, 3 o'clock, you said?
3 o'clock, yes.
All right.
Be on a little before 3 with a short pregame.
All right. And Mark and Jay Walker will bring you all the information in terms of any rescheduling that happens with those baseball games. And softball, by the way, is on our sister station, 103.3 The Goat. Did I get that right, Mark?
That is correct.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. God bless.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Stuart Varley, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Microsoft shares are narrowly higher. The United Kingdom's Competition and Markets Authority says it has closed its inquiry into the company's partnership with a French artificial intelligence company, saying it does not qualify for investigation. Though the European Commission will require Microsoft to provide information on risks stemming from artificial intelligence features in its search engine Bing. CoreWeave, an artificial intelligence startup backed by NVIDIA, has raised $7.5 billion from 3 investment firms. GameStop shares, which were rallying again this morning, are now down 11%. The video game retailer and meme stock is warning about its profit and sales for the current quarter. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this.